Indie games are a tricky one. It's a very difficult market to survive in and to succeed in. Um, there's so many other people trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do, except with different creativities and different styles and different themes, and it's very difficult, specifically to get an audience for, to get funding for your game and to get an audience that'll play your game, and that's what's sort of the trouble that everyone goes through in the development stage, and it gets to a point where it's sort of like a make or break, I guess, where you go out on a limb and you succeed in what you're trying to do and you make the game and it's successful. You look at there's various games on Steam that are indie games. I mean, Chivalry's a very key one that went successful off Kickstarter, and it's quite cool to see other people succeeding in what you're trying to follow up on, and you're trying to create different styles to and different remixes to and different themes. Siege of Inaolia is a third person co-op action hack and slash with light RPG elements that are sort of intertwined with the story. The story is a very big focus, or planning on being a very big focus on the game, and sort of the development on the lore and the characters. The three characters that you play are Duncan, Dreldos, and Asaya. Duncan being a Crimson Knight who's on a path of vengeance, and Asaya being the Queen of Thieves, and Dreldos being the rogue wizard who's sort of gone off on his own path. We want to get on Greenlight because Greenlight's a very good way of sort of securing a place, among Steam, and it's a very long and tedious process of gaining an audience and gaining a quota. There's a quota that you have to reach, and it does take a long time to get there before you're sort of reached out upon and brought into the family of Steam. So basically what we're here to do is to sort of pitch to you why we would be deserving of gaining an audience and getting backing for Siege of Inaolia. So where are we now in development? Well, right now we have our third alpha available to download, and right now we're sort of focusing on the core gameplay mechanics and the broad aesthetics rather than the finer details that you want to iron out later on in the development. For example, ability sprites and details to the heads-up display and the menu, and that's in-game cutscenes, that sort of thing. Those are the things that you want to do later on. You sort of need to get the fundamental backbone of the game done before you sort of move into that. So that at the moment we have two survival maps available. We haven't started on the development for the storyline just yet. We're still working on that process itself, and that's what the pitch is for, is to help us to sort of get the development going for that storyline. So we have two maps at the moment. We have Inferno and we have the Azure Caverns, and the Azure Caverns is a ice-based survival map, and Inferno is a abandoned mining arena set on the side of a mountain face with lava and daemons and that sort of thing. So if you've liked what you've seen throughout my very long and tedious talk, feel free to check us out on Facebook and to upvote us on Greenlight, because that's the main thing that we're trying to achieve right now, is popularity and the hype for it, that sort of thing, and your backing for the game development in itself. I think we have a lot of potential with this game. As I said, it's very early in development. There are still a lot of fundamental basics we have to achieve, and we have a great team working, and we're all volunteers and we all work very hard, because this is sort of the dream that we love and we want to achieve. This is sort of the field that we want to go into. We want to go into game developing and visual effects and that sort of thing. So if you do like what we're trying to achieve, there are social media links somewhere on the video. It's probably down in the description. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We have the trailer, the cinematic trailer. We will have a gameplay trailer showing you the aspects of the game later on when we have those aspects to show, and the storyline, that sort of thing, when we gear up for a final release. But right now we're focusing on the development stage in itself. And so yeah, if you're not entirely convinced and you have maybe some questions you'd like to ask, feel free to ask. You can ask us on Facebook, you can ask us on Twitter, all those social media links, IndieDB, that sort of thing. And we'll try to impress you as best as we can, because we sort of have quite a lot of things sitting back and we're waiting to release, that sort of thing. So if you're not entirely convinced and you have any questions, feel free to ask and we'll try to answer them as best we can.